5 snacks in a convenience store. What is your top 5, Stephen? Number 5.
Number 5, we're going beef jerky. Get a little protein. Typically the teriyaki style. But yeah, I like beef jerky. Fantastic.
Beef jerky is in like a Slim Jim, or beef jerky is in the proper beef jerky?
Proper beef jerky. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like Slim Jims. Never did.
I think that would probably put me at I'd put beef jerky at maybe like 26.
Oh wow. All the way down there, huh?
I like beef jerky though. But I like
Good
everything
thing there's
in a convenience store.
There's 1,000 things in a convenience store, so 26 is pretty good.
Can you name the 999th one?
For me?
No. Twix is what I got.
Twix is good. Twix are great. Number 4, after I eat the beef jerky, got to have some fresh breath. Going for Altoids.
Altoids. Interesting.
Yeah.
So you're combining these, or are you just saying like
I am doing
you're eating them all in one? Is this like a meal sitting for you? Because this doesn't make sense.
Kind of, yeah. I'm trying to be all encompassing and being very representative of what you can find in a convenience store. I'm not picking
so you're
two
not
chocolate bars.
you're not actually doing your top 5, which is literally what this is about. A top 5 preference.
It's still a top 5. The theme kind of fits into that, which is great.
Okay, that's okay. As long as the theme fits in and you're not forcing the theme.
No, I'm not forcing a theme.
Steven.
Altoids.
Schneider's Pieces, honey mustard and onion, which I forgot about that. Massive fan of those. I mean, if I go to the store and all the other flavors can get fucked, but they're delectable. Number 4.
Yeah. And it's the crunch and also like the dust on your fingers.
Yes.
And there you go.
So good.
Number 3 for me is specific because I have to say what it's in, but it's Coca-Cola in a can of Coke, not a bottle. Don't give me that plastic bottle stuff. We're doing a can of Coke.
Why the can and not the bottle?
It just tastes better in a can. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It's just better.
Have you ever had it? Have you had it in a glass bottle though?
I have, and I do like that. Mexican Cokes are good, made with real cane sugar.
It's better.
But I still got to go Coke in a can if I had to choose.
You ever had Coke in a coconut?
That's something I want to... That's bucket list right there.
Have you had Vino y Coca?
What is that? What the hell is that?
It's red wine and Coke. Delicious.
Ooh, hard pass.
2006, when we were traveling Europe, Kenny and myself and Milton, we had a lot of Vino y Cocas in Pamplona. It was delicious. And a lot of people say what you have said. Go drink it. Number 3, Sour Patch Kids. Love Sour Patch Kids. Oh, my dear sweet baby Jesus, do I love them. Too much. Let's go on. I'm getting hungry. I'm going to have a piece of dark chocolate. This is
What's
I do.
Your number 2?
My number 2? My number 2 really, truly is my number 1 in terms of taste. But I do have a story around my number 1, so I'm going to stick to that story. But my number 2 is the greatest chip of all time. And that's the Doritos Cool Ranch.
Ooh. That's debatable there. That's debatable.
I'm saying it's mine.
Okay. Well, then it's not debatable.
Favorite chip of all time.
I'm going to the chip category too for my number 2. Hot Cheetos. Hot Cheetos.
You like Hot Cheetos?
I do, yeah.
I think Cheetos are better than Hot Cheetos. And I also think Cheetos cheese puffs are better than Hot Cheetos.
I'm not a puff guy. Not a puff guy.
You
I like the hard crunch.
I like the balls. Oh, you like the balls then?
No, hard crunch.
Yeah, cheese balls in your mouth. 37. 37 cheese balls.
37. You got to times it by 2.
That's good. See what you did there. What do you got for number 1?
Number 1, I'm going my all-time favorite chocolate. All time. What? No contest. Toblerone.
Ooh, yes. All right. I have overlooked the Toblerone. Boy, have I. And it's not something I generally think of that as like airplane gatherings. You're in a fancy convenience store if you've got the Toblerone. With that being said, I actually would put that in place of Twix, maybe in the Sour Patch Kid realm. Toblerone is the
It's
greatest bar of all
fantastic.
time. There's no doubt about that. Well, with that being said,
What's your
my
number
num-
one?
my number one is a heartfelt one and something that's going to blow your mind, and one in which that you are probably going to question my honesty moving forward. With that being said, and so my number one is baseball gum.
What? You hate baseball. You know,
See,
you're. What are we talking about here? Baseball gum? The
so
flavor
my
lasts for about 45 seconds,
that's right. Yeah,
and
it
then you got
is.
to
It
spit it
is.
out.
It is my. You don't have to spit it out. You can eat it, and it'll stay in your stomach for 7 years. My favorite, honestly, is baseball gum, and it's more of an idea than it is an actual taste of it. I used to ride my bike with old Chris Harrell in Ocala, Florida, and we would ride our bikes. I don't know, it was probably 2 miles to the local convenience store, where we would go and get baseball cards. When I actually played baseball and used to enjoy baseball, generally across the board, didn't really watch it. Thought it was still boring back then, but I used to watch some bits of it. I would say live, and they had there was an amusement park in Florida called Baseball and Boardwalk, which was fantastic. Wasn't tall enough to ride on the ride, so I wore cowboy boots. But nonetheless, we used to go to this convenience store to get baseball cards. It was an everyday occurrence almost, or at least when I had change that I could find, I would literally go to St. John Lutheran School, and underneath the concession stand, because we didn't have enough money to buy baseball cards, I would go and find quarters, like rummage like through the small
Crevices.
crevices to find quarters that people dropped, and there was a lot, like a substantive amount over the years. And I would find them to go buy baseball cards, and we'd write ourselves to get these baseball cards. And I used to love that effort of what are you going to have in that pack. And I remember one day that Chris was sick, and I had to get him. I had to get him a pack of cards, and he gave me money. And I remember just like going to open his pack, and he got a Frank Thomas, who was one of my favorite players of all time, a Frank Thomas baseball card. And it was one of the greatest joys of my life, just opening up baseball cards and you didn't know what was there. And that, in essence, is the reason, if you've read Dopamine Nation, it's a book about dopamine, why gamblers exist to begin with. It's the you don't know if you're going to win and by how much, and you don't know if you're going to lose and how much. And that dopamine hit, which is massive, is a big deal. And that's why it's number one on my list. It was so fun. And then the bubblegum side to it
Yeah.
was not, it was like a secondary source, but I actually did eat all the bubblegum that I would get.
So it's the dopamine you got from. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I
Yeah.
love that.
It's a lot of good memories with old Chris Harrell.